Why do some churches have to interview people before they can join? Because it's a very good idea. That's why. Why do they? This is kind of funny. When I was in Arkansas, there was a big church right off the interstate, and it was sort of a semi-Pentecostal church. And I don't know if this was true, but the word on the street was before you joined the church, you had to meet with the pastor, you had to pray with the pastor, then you also had to give the church a copy of your latest tax return, and the church then filled out your pledge. They looked at your income, they multiplied by 10%. Let me tell you, their buildings were fantastic. They were awesome. But they would interview people. And actually, it's more than just churches. This has a long history in the church. In the Methodist church, John Wesley, before you were to receive communion, you had to go and present yourself to the pastor to be questioned as to whether or not you were spiritually fit to receive the sacrament. And if you did not make an appointment and show up at that, you did not receive the sacrament on Sunday. So this idea of interviewing, or sort of the pastors being the gatekeeper, is something that exists in Methodist too, and it has drifted away. The answer, though, is because we want people to know, or they want people to know what they're doing. In other words, if you join this church, here's what you're signing up for. Here's what we expect. And if you want to practice your discipleship in this way, then this is an interview, and we can say whether or not we think that is good for you and good for God and good for the church. And if it isn't, then you can go somewhere else. I actually worry about this at First Methodist a little bit. And we've talked about it in the pastors, because one of the things that I believe in strongly is the Holy Spirit. And that I believe God convicts people to make decisions of faith on Sunday morning during worship services, whether it's to be baptized, join the church, come and pray at the altar, and all of these decisions matter. But I do worry that if somebody makes the decision to join the church on Sunday morning, are they really ready to kind of engage in the life of discipleship that the church is prepared to provide? Is this person ready to get in a small group? Is this person ready to be in a Sunday school class? Is this person ready to think about going on a mission trip? Is this person ready to give substantially, financially, out of their what God has provided to them to the church? Because when we make a decision to become a part of the Christian community, there are usually some very intense personal reasons which matter greatly, but there's also a responsibility to the community that is happening at the same time. And churches that take that responsibility to the community seriously will do things like interview people before they can join. So I don't know that I would want to go that far, but this is actually something that you can pray about with me and with our other pastors, is that we have been talking a fair amount about kind of how it is that when somebody joins our church, are we really doing the best job we possibly can so that they can then launch into a life of discipleship, which is amazingly productive for them personally, as well as understanding the needs and responsibility to the community. Because another thing I worry about is to say, if I've been a Christian for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and I've never been on a mission trip, I kind of say, has the church let this person down? If this person is not in a Sunday school class or in a small group, I say, God, what did the church do wrong to kind of say that people can sort of be a lone ranger and that's okay? When I look at people who've been a Christian for 20, 30, and 40 years, and they're not financially generous, and that standard can vary widely, but you know what I mean, I just wonder, what happened there? And I think one of the answers to that question is that the church kind of forgot the responsibility to be with that person after they join. to really be clear about this is the life of discipleship and this is the way we practice it within our community. So when somebody joins the church, these are the things that are going to happen. And hopefully what people see is that it's a wonderful marriage in the sense that the person grows, but also the community thrives because of what God is doing in the people.